Hello everyone out there in YouTube land, this is Chris Bundy here with a full review of the HTC Titan for the AT&T network. Now before I get on with the actual part of the review where I talk about my opinion, I'm going to go over the specs for you in case you have not watched my unboxing video. So let's go ahead and go from the front of the device and we'll go around. Now the front display is actually a 4.7 inch 800 by 480 pixel count display. It's actually called Super LCD, and it has a oleophobic coating on it. It's actually one of the best I've seen out there. It actually works better than the one that's on the iPhone 4. But we also have a AT&T badge up here at the top. You have your speaker grill across the top as well, and then in the top right hand corner we have a 1.3 megapixel front camera. And then here at the bottom we have your back, start, and search buttons for the Windows Phone platform. That's something you'll see across all. Now if we journey to the top of the device, we have the power lock button, the 3.5 millimeter jack. We also have 3 microphone pickups here at the top of the device. Around the right hand side we have just the micro USB charging port I'll say. And then at the bottom of the device we have the little push device where you pop the thing up and then you can actually take the device apart. We'll just clamp that down for now. And then you also have another microphone pickup. Here on the left hand side of the device, actually orientation wise this is right hand side of the device if you're holding it, you have your volume rocker up and down, and you also have a 2-stage camera button. Here on the back of the device, here are the 2 microphone pickups I talked to you before about, and then we have dual LED flash. We have a 8 megapixel camera that has a autofocus, face detection, and a f-stop of 2.2. We also have the speakerphone grill, and then we have 2 microphone pickups here, and then we also have the Windows Phone logo across the bottom here, and the HTC logo. Now this back is actually made of aluminum, and you can actually see that it is very smudge resistant. A lot of people have complaints on phones about smudges, so I am actually particularly one of them, and you can actually see after 2 weeks of use I haven't actually wiped this off and there is no real evidence of smudging, so this is actually very good. On the front screen though, you can see, because my hands are a little sweaty, it is picking up some stuff, but other than that it really does a very good job for the smudge resistance. Now if we power the device back on and we slide up, here you have the 4.7 inch monster screen. Now before I get further into the review, I want to actually do a comparison between this screen and a few other screens I have available to me. Right here is the iPhone 4, which also has the same exact body as the 4S. And you can see there that if I get the screens angled up, okay, so the top of the screens are exactly the same. And you can see how much more screen real estate is actually on the Titan than the iPhone 4. And if we look at the thickness here, you can see that the iPhone 4 is slimmer, but you have to think the HTC Titan has a bit bigger display on it. But I also have 3 other devices here. I have a Galaxy Nexus, and once again I'm going to line at the top of the screens, and you can see the larger screen real estate there. And then also we'll look at the thinness here. Now the chin on the bottom of the Nexus S does not help it. So there we go. I also have the last generation of Windows Phone flagship. I have the Samsung Focus. Now if you can see the cracks on the screen, please disregard that. That is how I got the phone. I got it because I had a cracked screen. But if you look there, I have the screens lined up. You can see the difference it makes in screen size. The widgets are almost time and a half bigger. The screen on the Focus is actually a 4-inch screen. It's the same exact size as the Nexus S, and it is a ½ inch bigger than your iPhone 4. So as you can see there, it does make quite a bit of a difference there. I'll keep trying to show that advantage here throughout the video, so that way you can get an accurate picture of just what this screen is going to do, because that is really the biggest advantage of this phone, is the screen and the display. So moving on from that, I'm going to actually compare it to a tablet that I have with me. I have a first generation iPad. So if I can actually get that all the way in the picture here. Okay. Now, this isn't going to work with the way I have this set up, but I will put the bottom of the screen there so you can see exactly how much screen real estate that takes up compared to a tablet. So some people say that a 5-inch phone screen may be too big, but as you can see, compared to a tablet, it's still quite small. Of course, that tablet is twice the size of the actual device here. Now, as you can see, this is the way the home screen kind of sets up. You get your Me section down at the bottom along with Local Scout. The HTC Titan Hub, that is something that is reserved for the HTC phones. And then we also have the standard AT&T apps. You have the navigator, the scanner, and then the U-verse here on the home screen. Now if we flip over to the other applications, we have the code scanner again, Family Map, My Wireless, Navigator, and U-verse Mobile. The only apps that differentiate this device really would be the HTC the HTC Hub. That is really the only thing the manufacturer has put on this device. I have also added Netflix for later in this review. You also get the photo enhancer. That would actually be the other thing that HTC adds. I actually have preferred all of the HTC Titan apps on here. They all work well. Also, ones that I have downloaded from the marketplace and used when I was using this as my daily driver, I have loved all of those. They've actually been some of my favorite applications for the device. You also have a Yellow Pages mobile application here at the bottom of the device. Now, I'm going to go through a quick spec run through here before we go any further. We have Windows Phone 7.5 Mango on this device. So really, a lot of the cosmetic differences are not there, but all under the hood, it's good. Hopefully that didn't come off as too cheesy there. But it has a 1.5 gigahertz Qualcomm Snapdragon processor. That processor is the fastest in the Windows Phone lineup. The rest of the lineup here at the end of 2011 is a 1.4 gigahertz lineup, or the phones from last year had just a single core 1 gigahertz processor, and they all have been Qualcomm Snapdragons. Now, this phone also is able to pick up the AT&T 4G network. Now, it's not their LTE network, it is their regular 4G network. So you can look forward to a potential of 14.4 megabits per second down, and you can look forward to an upload speed of 5.76 megabits per second up. Now, these are their maximums. So this is not a 21 megabit per second device, it is just a 14.4, but still faster than the around 6-ish range for your standard 3G. So it's quicker. It's also the same speed that the iPhone 4S runs at, but it's not LTE. This phone also does have Bluetooth. It has Bluetooth 2.1. It has Wi-Fi 802.11bgNN. There is no support for dual band, so if you have a dual band router, you won't be able to harness that. It also does support DLNA. Tethering. Tethering is a big feature for phones these days. A lot more people are starting to tether other devices that they own. This device does have a 1600 milliamp hour battery. That is something I have loved about this device. It has had approximately a day and a half of solid use on a regular basis. I haven't had to plug a device in the same day It's either been at the end of the second day or somewhere in the middle where I'm just kind of hanging around where my charger was and I decided to plug it in. What is nice about Windows Phone though is it does try to be a phone first, so if you do happen to run into a bad spot on your second day of battery and you need to conserve, you can actually go right down into the settings function. You can go down to your battery saver mode and you can actually select that function, and that'll actually turn on as soon as your battery reaches somewhere around between 20 and 30%, and it will kill all your background processes and simply run off of if your screen's going or networks. So that really helps. You can also turn it on at the whim, and you'll actually notice up here at the top right hand corner that little heart sign to love your battery. Sorry about that, guys. My memory card ran out there. You know, just little mistakes. But here we go. Battery info. We have what it is quoting as 79% remaining, and it's saying that we will have 1 day and 1 hour left on this battery. Now when I turn off the battery saver mode, it says that there's 21 hours, and changing the other option does not hurt it. So at 80%, you're looking at like a whole day's use. So that's pretty good. Now what I'd like to show you, actually what I'd like to talk about first is what happened with what I got in the box. I got the phone, a SIM card, and I also got a charger. Now the charger I got with this device is actually pretty nice. I actually took some time designing this. You can actually see it looks very, very nice. The actual ends are covered over a bit more than usual, but it actually does look much more like a polished product. I really do like that. But that's it. You got the phone, you got the battery that goes in the phone. I happen to get a SIM card. You got a little cable and a little charging block. That's it. Anybody noticing something pretty crucial missing? Oh yeah, the headsets that we're used to. And that actually hurts a feature that this phone has. It does play music, but more critically, it uses headphones to play the radio. You can actually play radio through this device, but it has to use the headphones as an antenna. So without headphones, you're out of luck. So just keep that in mind. You don't get a fancy pair of Beats headphones like other HTC phones coming out right now. And you don't get little crappy headphones like you might find with the iPhone or the previous generation Samsung Focus. It had headphones that came along with it. So it's not Microsoft's fault as a Windows thing. It's something HTC chose to do. Well, either HTC or AT&T. I'm going to say more than likely it was HTC chose not to do. But I'm going to go through a quick comparison here of a few apps that people normally use on a regular everyday basis to kind of show exactly what you would see as far as screen size difference. Because once again, like I said, the real advantage to this device is the fact that it is a Windows phone. But the other thing is it is a huge display. It is one of the biggest displays on the market. The only real competitive phone that I know of that has that size of display is well, you have the Galaxy Note that is not here in America yet, and you also have the recently introduced today the Galaxy Nexus. So once again, that is a huge display, bigger than your average phone. So that's why I wanted to show you a few applications. Now, if we roll up in here to the Facebook app, or the People app, I'll say that, you have all of your accounts right there. So it goes and it syncs up, and you have just a stream of things. So I have Facebook hooked up, I have Windows Live hooked into this, and also Twitter is hooked up. So you can see where they are from right there in the bottom of the post. And then you also get a time display. And then you also get to see all the people, and if you recently contacted someone, it would actually show up in between, but I reset the phone so that way personal information would not be shared. Now here is just the list of contacts, and if you want to quickly scroll through those, you just hit the A button and then you choose which name you have. So there's not a lot of flash to this, but this is for people. So you have exactly what's going on with your people. You have all their contact information, so if you wanted to call someone, you could. Your photos actually gets divided into the photo section. So if we actually open that up real fast, you can actually say, whoops, you can actually go right into what's new in pictures, and then it'll pull up all your friends' pictures and things. So the Facebook app is more integrated into the OS instead of being an application all of its own. So if you are kind of a person who likes to sit there and read statuses, I mean, there you go, you have just your standard news feed there. And against the iPhone 4, you can sort of see some differences here in the way the text is set up, and it's a lot more visible on the Titan because of the way they contrast it and the way the font is actually set. Now if we go to it on the Android platform, oops, sorry about the delay, guys. Well, so as you know, Facebook for Android has recently received an update to where it looks a lot more like the Facebook on the iPhone, just for a more uniform experience for Facebook users. And it looks like, oh, there we go. So as you can see, they're both pretty readable. If we pull them up close enough, you can actually be able to fully see everything. Let me try and keep you out of people's stuff. There you go. There's popular people. So that is in a nutshell. You got pretty quick scrolling there. That is in a nutshell your Facebook application. If we do it on the older Windows device, you can see the difference in font size there in the way that it does things. So once again, it's all about screen size with these devices, and this one is the king of screen size. Now another one I'm going to take us to is the Netflix application. And the reason I'm showing off the Netflix application, it's not something that everyone has on their phone, but if you're buying a phone with this large of a screen, Netflix becomes something you really want to have. Simply for the fact that you can watch it and have a pretty decent experience on the go. It was actually one of the big selling features, if you remember, for the HTC Evo. Having that large screen really was supposed to help people that were entertainment users. So if we go and we quickly pop into something here, I don't know, I guess we get some Chuck Norris up in here. So as you can see there, this is how the Netflix application is, and it's actually fairly fast off of AT&T's network. I am running it off of the AT&T network. So I've got the Titan and the iPhone 4 here running at the same time. Let me see if I can get these to load up here at the same time so you can see a real difference here. So you can see some basic differences here in the screen clarity. There you go. So, enough of that. This isn't a video watching Chuck Norris run through the wind. But as far as my opinion of the phone, I actually truly do like the device. However, I have made the choice not to have this as my daily driver for 2 years. I found this on a deal at Best Buy where I could get it for free on a 2-year contract. Now that was a Cyber Monday deal. But I figured out what the heck, I've really wanted this phone since I heard about it, and I went ahead and picked it up. But I have enjoyed the device. It's got a good bit of heft to it. It's not as heavy as the iPhone 4, surprisingly, even though it is made of aluminium, as Johnny Ive might say. But it is a great little device. I just happen to say that it's not for me because it doesn't have all the applications that I asked for, and that's a problem with the platform and not the phone. Oh, I should quickly go into the camera. Okay, so allow the camera to use your location. So you can actually use that camera button there to take a picture, or you can use your finger to. Now, as you can see with your finger, it takes a good bit longer, but it does quickly line up. In the settings here, you have panorama shot mode, so you can pop into that and take pictures. It's actually not too bad. You can change your resolution there. You can change your flash here, white balance, brightness, contrast. A lot of things that you would expect just on a regular camera, but now it's on your phone, which is what we would rather have anyway. The best camera you have is the one you have with you. So this two-stage button, if I could demo it here, as I hold it down on that first stage, it does line up and you see that little box of where it's focusing, and then you press it the next time and it goes off. Now, it's kind of hard on a phone to keep it still when you do have that second stage. So here you have the first and it's perfectly lined up and stuff, but unless you're real careful, that second to press will push it to the left or to the right, and it could cause blurring. This phone does support the 720p video record function, and once again you can just use the camera start button, and then you get a nice large time dial here. But I think I've covered everything that is really special about this phone. If you have any questions, please leave that in the comments section. If you have any suggestions for future reviews, I am perfectly willing to accept those and hopefully learn from it. This is something that I would like to do, so please give me a rating of what you thought. If I left something out, please let me know. If I covered something too in depth, please let me know. You know, just anything, let me know. Thank you everybody out there in YouTube land, and have a great day.